Assalamu alaikum, and welcome everyone. We're diving deep today into Surah Al-Bayyinah.
Assalamu alaikum.
That's chapter 98 of the Quran. It's pretty short, but it's powerful. All about the clear proof,
Yes.
the coming of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him,
Yeah.
and the impact, on everyone. It really focuses on how people reacted
Yeah.
to this clear proof
Yeah.
and the results, of believing or not.
And the destinies.
Exactly. It's not just like a history lesson.
No,
It digs into, I think, some really deep questions.
it does, about faith.
Yeah. Like, what does it mean to believe and what happens when you have belief versus disbelief?
The consequences.
Yeah. So let's start, I think, at the beginning. The first few verses, I find them really interesting, how they set the stage, like a story is starting. Can you maybe walk us through them?
Sure, so it starts by saying, those who disbelieve among the people of the book and the polytheists were not to desist until the clear proof came to them. A messenger from Allah reciting purified pages within which are right decrees.
There's this phrase, we're not to desist, that just jumps out, to me at least. This idea of resistance.
Stubbornness.
Yeah. So who are these people of the book? What are they resisting?
So the people of the book, we're talking about the Jews and Christians.
Right.
They had their own scriptures and their beliefs and practices. And often, the sense of they were right.
Right. Yeah.
You can imagine how they felt when a new prophet
Yeah.
comes along saying he has the final revelation.
Yeah. Like it throws everything into question, everything they thought they knew.
Exactly.
And then these purified pages, what are those?
The Quran
Okay.
with right decrees. I mean, think about it. At that time, maybe earlier messages, they weren't as clear, or maybe the interpretations were all over the place. The Quran comes and it's like, Qurr, the final word from Allah, sent through Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a complete guide.
So you have this clash, old versus new, established beliefs versus this kind of sweeping truth.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
So then, the surah continues. And the people of the book did not become divided except after the clear proof had come to them. And they were not commanded except to worship Allah, being sincere to him in religion, inclining to truth, and to establish prayer and to give zakah. And that is the correct religion.
So even with this proof, they still divide. It's kind of, I don't know, like human nature to do that, maybe.
Yeah, to resist change. But it's interesting, though. The message is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Worship Allah sincerely. Pray, give charity. That's it.
Right.
The core. But still, disagreement. Why?
Yeah, why? Why split up if it's so clear?
Think about it. If you've believed something your whole life, and then suddenly there's this new understanding that challenges everything,
It's hard to let go.
it's threatening, to your traditions, maybe even your authority,
Yeah.
your identity.
It's not just accepting rules, it's like confronting yourself.
Yeah.
Your ego.
Exactly. Holding on to what's familiar.
And we see this even today, right?
Oh, absolutely. This
Yeah.
internal struggle causes so many conflicts.
And the Surah doesn't shy away from the consequences of that choice, does it?
Not at all. The last few verses, they lay it out there. Indeed, those who disbelieve among the people of the book and the polytheists, they will be in the fire of hell, abiding eternally therein. Those are the worst of creatures. Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, those are the best of creatures. Their reward with their Lord is the gardens of perpetual residence, beneath which rivers flow, wherein they abide eternally. Allah is pleased with them, and they are pleased with him. That is for he who fears his Lord.
It's a sharp contrast, like poetry almost. Eternal fire for those who reject, eternal gardens for those who accept.
It really makes you think about the weight of our choices, doesn't it? Every decision we make.
It does. So the fire, that's like the ultimate separation, right?
From Allah's mercy.
Because you keep rejecting the truth.
Exactly. And the gardens, they symbolize that closeness to Allah,
Okay.
that bliss, eternal contentment. It goes beyond simple reward and punishment.
Like a state of being.
Yes, alignment or misalignment with the divine will.
And then it ends with this beautiful image. Allah is pleased with them, and they are pleased with him.
Right. It's that's the point of it all. True faith. It's not just following rules because you're scared.
It's deeper than that.
It's love for Allah, awe, that inspires you to do good.
Right.
And when you have that connection, it's pure joy for the believer and for Allah.
So to sum it up, Surah Al-Bayyinah is about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, coming with this clear proof
Right.
and the division that happened,
Yeah.
even though the guidance was clear.
Yes.
And then those two paths, belief and disbelief, and what they lead to, but it also, It goes deeper.
It does.
It's about us as humans.
Our nature.
Yeah, wrestling with truth. And how the choices we make affect not just this life, but eternity.
And it leaves us with a question, I think.
Yeah.
If true believers have this awe of their Lord, how do we cultivate that in our lives and everything we do, every choice, every day?
That is something to think about. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Assalamu alaikum.